Despite months and months of pressure and mandates and emotional manipulation, a lot of Americans still don't want to take the experimental drug to stop the cough that for a lot of people, most people even, doesn't pose a particularly grave threat.
Oh, you can't say that anymore.
And the libs are furious about it. They're furious. The libs are melting down. They're posting their meltdowns to TikTok. I don't want to sound like a sexist here. There seems to be a little bit of a skew in favor of women when it comes to these meltdowns.
I just have a lot of feelings.
I don't make the reality, I'm just observing it. And so I decided, as I often try to do, I don't want to just make fun of the libs. I don't want to own them just to own them for owning's sake. I want to own them with a purpose. Okay, I want to take their arguments as seriously as I can, figure out what it is they're trying to say. So my producers have put together the top lib anti-vax, or I guess pro-vax, against the anti-vax TikTok videos of hysterical women, and I'm going to choose the most persuasive argument. Let us begin.
My daughter just called and her boyfriend has tested positive. He's the only person in his work that's wearing a mask out of, 300 people. And now my daughter, who's 29 weeks pregnant, is at risk. And I hate every single one of you who refuses to wear a mask to protect others. I hope this virus finds you. I hope it finds you, and I hope it destroys you. Because the people that are trying to do their part in this are getting sick because of you stupid, ignorant morons. So, please get vaccinated.
So her anger is coming from this place of concern for her daughter, because her daughter's pregnant and her daughter's husband has the virus, and so she's really afraid for her daughter. And then she gets really upset and yells and screams and everything.
Calm down, just calm down.
My wife was pregnant during most of the coronavirus. Well, I can't say most of, because it's going to go on forever, but my wife was pregnant from April of 2020. She was pregnant for the whole thing. We almost never wore masks. We had people over all the time. We went to people's houses. We traveled all over the place. We obviously weren't vaxxed. And the baby's super healthy. It's great. It's totally cool. It's not a big deal. The other problem with her argument is she's saying, because they're not wearing masks, that now people are being infected. So I guess the mask doesn't prevent you from being infected. It only prevents you from giving the infection to other people. But then, so the guy's got the virus, but then the wife doesn't even have the virus yet at the time of this video. And not really persuasive at all. Next one.
I'm not even so much upset with the anti-vaxxers as much as I am with those that are responsible for the brainwashing, suggestive speech, the now gaslighting that they're doing now as they're backpedaling, saying, oh, no, we always believed in vaccines. Oh, masks are good.
Who's doing that? I'm not doing that backpedaling.
Yeah, you know what? Right off. Right off. Because now your constituents are filling up the hospitals and the ICUs and are dying. And I care.
Oh.
Yeah, they were anti-vaxxers, but I care.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay? Those that should have been showing example, that should have been leading, especially in our last administration, didn't. All of this could have been helped if Trump would have just put a fucking mask on and talked about how masks are effective. And once we got the vaccine, how the vaccine is effective, along with the rest of the right-wing media and politicians. And now you're going to come out of your hole and completely change your tune? F*** off.
So the masks are effective. And if only Trump had said that the masks are effective, we wouldn't be in this mess. And the masks are so effective that we had to still keep the entire society locked down until we got a vaccine. Because the masks are so effective that we can't go back to normal life until we get a vaccine because the masks aren't effective. But then we got the vaccine, and then anyone who wanted the vaccine got the vaccine. And the vaccine is very effective, you see. And the vaccine is so effective that the people who got the vaccine already need to put masks back on because the people who got the vaccine are getting the virus because they're very effective. And this is Trump's fault because Trump wouldn't get the vaccine. Well, he did get the vaccine. I guess he developed the vaccine under Operation Warp Speed. And then he got the vaccine. And actually, it was Democrats who said they probably wouldn't get the vaccine, up to and including Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
If Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
But this woman is very upset that people are making their own healthcare decisions in a way that is basically only affecting them, right? Because all the hospitalizations, as she said, are just the people without the vaccine. That's what we're being told. Okay, so it's not affecting the people who did what she wants them to do and get the vaccine. So it's only affecting themselves. And she's very upset because the masks didn't work as well as they told us they would, and the vaxes didn't work as well as they told us they would.
You are skating on very, very thin ice, okay?
Not following them. Next one.
Y'all, I completely lost my mind for a minute. So I'm in a store, I walk up to the checkout line to pay, of course, have my mask on. The guy in front of me, big old, bald-headed, redneck-looking dude.
Probably a white
mask,
supremacist.
I'm standing there
Or a
minding
Nazi.
my own business, and he turns around and is like, there's another sheep. And my automatic response, like without even thinking, was to stand there and go, bah, bah. I mean, I realize that's the worst sheep noise in the whole world, but I made sheep noises at him very loudly and aggressively. And I have never seen a huge grown-ass man be so scared of a 5'2" woman in my entire life. Like, he got his and got out of there. So the next time some Trump humper calls you a snowflake or a sheep or whatever, just match their level of crazy.
The next time someone calls you a sheep, prove them right.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Okay, all right. First of all, something tells me he wasn't like scared. He was probably scared for her well-being, as we all are. We're scared for all of these people's well-being. And it's not from the virus either. It's from the mind virus. It's from the soul virus. I actually like this girl. I mean, she's admitting it. She's saying, yeah, I'm a sheep. I'm a sheep. I will do anything Fauci tells me to do. Yeah, govern me harder, Fauci. Yeah, tell me what to do. Absolutely. Bah! Bah! So I like her. I mean, I find this persuasive, and I think this reflects reality. Next one.
You know what? Special needs kids.
Who the starts a conversation like that?
The whole lot of you. Your parents, your families, your caregivers, your therapists, your doctors. All you special needs out there. Right? Right? Because that's what you say to us when you don't want to get vaccinated because it's not FDA approved yet. Yeah, half you will contour your face without looking at one ingredient, and you will go to Starbucks never once checking to see if the FDA has approved pumpkin spice. Right?
If it's a Starbucks, it has been approved.
If you knew what it took for me to get my kid from the front door to the car seat, you would understand that I would wear a mask every day for the rest of my life. But your body autonomy, right? Right? So apparently, if we're special needs, we just get to stay home because of you selfish. So you know what? I'm done, chat. I'm done, Karen. The lot of you.
Okay, I actually couldn't make sense of most of what she was saying because every other word was an expletive, which our producers have to bleep out. So I didn't hear most of her argument. But she was saying how who cares that the experimental drug wasn't approved by the FDA because although now I think now one of them is or something, it's in the process. But if a food product makes it to market in America, that means that it has gone through regulators. So you don't need to check because you know that. But the FDA actually came out with this vaccine and said, well, this is an emergency use authorization, but not a full authorization. You can't simultaneously tell us that this is an epidemic of the unvaccinated and the only people going to hospitals and dying are the unvaccinated. You'll be shocked to hear this. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
No way!
And it's pretty transparent, I think. All right, here's the last one. Here we go.
My empathy fatigue is so real. Do not ask me to give a shit about you when you get sick and you haven't had the vaccine. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if you get sick. Empathy fatigue is more like empathy rage.
So the woman obviously doesn't know what the word empathy means, because she's saying she doesn't like these people and she hopes they get sick and she doesn't care about them at all. So empathy is when you have a feeling for someone based on a perceived sort of similarity. Well, I could see myself in their place. I can know how this feels, right? As opposed to sympathy, which is like, well, I don't really know how that feels, but I feel bad for you anyway. Empathy is like, I know, I see myself in that situation, but she doesn't. She manifestly does not. So it's the opposite of empathy. Also, if you have empathy fatigue, you don't have much empathy in the first place. Also, empathy is not a great guide for anything. Libs love to talk about empathy now, even though they apparently don't know what it means. But a much better guide to your interactions with your neighbors than empathy or sympathy is charity. It's charity. It's caring for someone. It is willing the good of the other person, going out of your way, whether or not you see yourself in that person, just going out and being kind to them and caring for them and performing loving acts for them and giving alms. But the libs don't have charity. And actually, if you talk to very ideological left-wing politicians or you read leftist theorists, they will tell you they actually hate charity. They hate charity because they think that charity is an impediment to revolution. So Whittaker Chambers talks about this in Witness. He says that he and another communist walked by a bum on the street, and they wanted to hand him a nickel, but they said, no, you can't. That charity, that will deaden the revolutionary spirit. Or Bernie Sanders said the same thing. He goes, I don't like charity. I want there to be a revolution, and then we won't need to give charity.
The American people are tired of women.
They don't like charity. This woman's obviously not charitable or empathetic or particularly sympathetic. The winner is so obvious. I don't even need to say it. It's the sheep. Obviously the sheep. Bah is the only one who made a convincing argument, an argument actually with which I cannot argue. Let me know in the comments section if you agree with my pick for the absolute top, most persuasive lib COVID meltdown. Post other videos you want me to review next. We'll see you next time.